During the Battle of Gods arc, while Beerus was talking to Goku, he would have mentioned that Goku was the second strongest person he ever went against, but we soon figure out that this was a lie, as Monaka was just someone to motivate Goku. So let's see what would happen if Beerus wasn't lying. We begin this what if with the defeat of Frieza. Once Goku and Vegeta go back to their training, Champa would still arrive on Beerus' planet, and a tournament is formed like in canon. So both Piccolo and Boo would be invited to the team, and Beerus would start to walk up alongside someone. Goku is very excited to see the strongest mortal alive. And no, this isn't Monaka, this is a whole different warrior. We're gonna call him Grease. So Grease would stare down at everyone and wouldn't say a word. Goku tries to introduce himself and did want to spar, but Beerus would immediately decline the idea. Of course, Goku's curiosity would get the better of him, so he strikes Grease, but Grease would easily catch his punch. Grease would say how it wasn't very nice to punch someone off guard. Grease would stare down Goku and would just smile, sensing that his heart was purely good. So Grease would ask Beerus if he could have a quick sparring match with Goku. Beerus would be extremely annoyed as he wanted them to save their strength for the tournament, but he allows them to spar. So they would move to a different area and they would both put up their fighting poses. Goku would charge at Grease. Grease would easily dodge and block most of Goku's attacks. Goku would start to notice this, so he powers up to a Super Saiyan. But even with Super Saiyan, the result doesn't change. So he goes through all his transformations until he goes Super Saiyan Blue, starting to push Grease back. Grease will start to fight back against Goku, and it seems like they are dead even. But before they could use more power, Grease would stop their match due to them having to leave. So once they make it to the unknown world, the tournament would begin. And this would pretty much go the same. Once Goku forfeits, Grease would go up next to beat Hit. Due to Hit being exhausted from his previous battles, Grease would easily win against Hit. Zeno would appear like normal and Goku would befriend him, just like in canon. And Beerus would also bring his brother's Earth back. The group would head back to Earth as soon as they make it, Beerus and Whis would start to head out with Grease. Goku would say how Grease should train with him and Vegeta on Beerus' planet sometime, but Grease would decline this suggestion as he tells Goku that he lacks the motivation to really train. He only fights to protect the people he loves or the universe. Goku will understand this as Grease leaves with Beerus and Whis. So like normal, the Goku Black arc will still happen and everything with that will go the same. But before we go into the Tournament of Power, I would like to explain what Grease is exactly and how he met the God of Destruction. Grease is a Tartanian. What are Tartanians, you may be asking? Well, they do somewhat look like humans, but they are completely different from humans. Tartanians can breathe in space, they are immune to poison. Tartanians also have a special ability only to their race. They are able to take people's bodies. It's somewhat like Ginyu's body change ability, but weaker. They have to give their opponent an open wound so they can enter the body, but depending on the opponent's strength is for how long they can use the body for. If you're still confused, I'll give an explanation. So if Grease decided to take over Goku's body, this wouldn't work due to Goku's overwhelming power. If he did do this, he would be able to take over Goku's body for a few minutes before Goku can break free. Now, if Grease tried taking over, let's say, Krillin's body, then he will be able to successfully take over him due to Krillin not being as strong as Goku. And if Grease really wants to, he could make Krillin into his main body, which would add Grease's power to Krillin's body. Now, with all that being explained, let's talk about how Beerus met Grease. Back when Planet Vegeta was still around, Beerus had just given Frieza permission to destroy Planet Vegeta. On his way back to his planet, he starts to get hungry, so he asks Whis to take them to a pit stop to the nearest planet with food. Whis would look through his staff and he would decide to go to the planet of the Tartanians. As soon as they land, the Tartanians would start to gather around Beerus and Whis, and they would immediately notice the God of Destruction. They all would bow down in respect, and Beerus would ask for their leader. The Tartanian leader would eventually show up alongside Grease. Beerus would have asked for their greatest delicacies, so the Tartanians would give Beerus what he wants. And he does enjoy the food that they give him, but When the chef Tartanian gave Beerus a certain dessert dish that was filled with poison, the king would notice this and would try to stop Beerus from eating the dish, but it was too late. As Beerus took a bite, he immediately drops the dish. He would ask what the hell was this. The leader would immediately apologize to Beerus. He would tell Beerus that the dish had poison in it. He would tell them how they were immune to poison and their race thought that some poison was tasty. Beerus would ask for the chef and the chef would walk out the kitchen, but in an instant she is destroyed. Beerus is very angry. He yells as his orb blows back everyone. Beerus would tell the Tartanians that their planet would now be destroyed. The Tartanians wouldn't let Beerus destroy their planet without a fight, so every Tartanian would attack Beerus, but Beerus would easily kill every Tartanian that tries going against him. The only person even close giving Beerus a challenge is the leader, but that's due to him transforming into the Tartanian super form. So far, he's the only Tartanian that can transform. Beerus is surprised on how the leader can keep up with his power. The two would continue to clash and Beerus had had enough of the games. He sends a Hakai right at the leader. The leader tries stopping the Hakai, but he is completely consumed by the attack. He tries powering up to break free, but it's hopeless. In his mind, the leader apologizes to his race and says how he could have done more as a leader of the Tartanian race. The Hakai ball explodes as the leader is destroyed. Gree would see this and would fall on his knees. He would feel totally hopeless, weak, and pathetic, that he couldn't help out anyone. He looks up as he sees Beerus charging up his energy ball. Beerus would send out the blast towards the planet. Gree, not wanting his planet to get destroyed, goes up to the energy ball and tries to push it back with his bare hands. Gree starts to get pushed back. He starts to have flashbacks of basically his whole life until now. He starts to get consumed into the supernova, but Gree would start to power up. He tells Beerus, "I won't let you destroy my world!" The supernova evaporates as Gree is enraged, and without even noticing, he transforms into the Super Tartanian form. Gree charges at Beerus as he is able to land some devastating blows on the god of destruction. Beerus is completely shocked by the Tartanian power. Beerus is forced to use more of his power and the two clash. Beerus would notice how Gree was getting stronger while he fights. Gree wouldn't be letting up as he keeps sending multiple blows on the god of destruction. Eventually he uppercuts Beerus and sending him flying up into the air. Gree would charge up a final buster, sending it at Beerus. Beerus is able to power up on time to endure the attack. Beerus right now is at 80% of his power. He is completely enjoying everything right now, as he never was pushed this much. Whis is shocked to also see such a mortal push Beerus to such heights. The battle keeps going on, as Gree's rage jump will start to subside, and his power will start to slowly stop to grow. Beerus would be done playing around with Gree as he goes 100%, easily blitzing the Tartanian. Gree would go down into base form extremely injured. Beerus would tell him how entertained he was by his power. Gree would thank Beerus, but he knows his planet's fate. He tells Beerus even though he knows what's going to happen to him and his planet, he would admit that he was never pushed like that in his entire life, and he did enjoy it. Gree would soon fall unconscious as he starts to fall, but Beerus would grab his hand and would safely drop him onto his planet. Beerus would say a promise is a promise as the rest of the Tartanians look in awe. Beerus raises his hand and simply destroys a tree. Beerus would simply say that he was going to destroy the planet, so he destroys a tiny part of the planet. Both Beerus and Whis would soon take their leave as the Tartanians takes Gree to a healing chamber, and soon they would make him the leader of the planet. We now head to the present, where the Tournament of Power has been announced. So Universe 7 team would be the same, but Gree would be replacing Tien. But if I'm being realistic, they'll most likely take out Frieza, but Frieza was way more useful than Tien, so that's why I'm replacing Tien. Once they head to the tournament would begin, and the Universe 7 would, like normal, stick to the plan, and some people would lead the group. Gree would also go on his own, as he would eliminate some fodder fighters. Eventually he would go against the assassin Hit, as this would be a nice rematch and a more fair one due to Hit being exhausted last time. So the two would go at it, as Gree is able to predict Hit's time skip. It is about to evolve more, but their fight would get interrupted by Goku and Jiren's battle. The battle would pretty much go the same as canon, and Hit would go against Jiren, which Hit would be still eliminated. So by now, Universe 9 would have been eliminated. Piccolo and Gohan would eliminate Universe 4 with the help of Gree. Universe 2 and 6 would be eliminated like normal, and Universe 3 would still form Anilaza. Anilaza would still eliminate 18, but with the power of Universe 7, they would still eliminate him. As Universe 3 would be erased, so far Universe 7 would still got Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Gree, Android 17, and Frieza. And for Universe 11, we got Jiren, Toppo, and Despo. So Goku, Vegeta would go against Jiren, Gree and Android 17 would go against Toppo, and Gohan and Frieza would go against Despo. Gree and Android 17 would be holding their own against Toppo. Toppo would use his god form until Frieza joined the battle, which Frieza would make Toppo mad enough that he would transform. He easily destroys Frieza and nearly knocks him off the ring, but Gree would have saved him. He would try fighting Toppo, but Toppo's power is pushing Gree back. Toppo would send a Hakai at Gree, and Gree would start to get flashbacks of his old leader as he was destroyed by this attack. Gree starts to get angry. He easily got rid of the Hakai. Gree would decide to transform into a super state, and everyone is shocked by the power of his form. Even Jiren is shocked by the power coming from the Tartanian. Gree would tell Toppo that no one besides Beerus was able to push him into this state. Toppo would start to sweat a little due to the overwhelming power, but he powers up, telling Gree that he can't lose. He charges at Gree with Gree doing the same. The two would clash, but Gree is absolutely destroying Toppo. Toppo would try to send a Hakai at Gree, but Gree would simply punch right through the Hakai, then punching Toppo in the face. Gree would land a couple of more blows before sending Toppo into a mountain, and then Gree would charge up a blast and then would blast it towards Toppo. Sadly for Toppo, he couldn't react on time as he's hit by the blast. He is sent flying out the ring as Gree would go back into his base form. The battle against Jiren would go the same, with Vegeta being eliminated by Jiren and giving Goku his energy. Gree would still be in a fighting condition, but he can feel Goku's power, knowing that he can evolve. So he would also give a bit of his energy to Goku, so Goku would be able to awaken the UI form again. Then he would be able to break his limits, going into mastered Ultra Instinct. The battle would go the same until Goku loses the form. Jiren was about to eliminate Goku, but Frieza, Android 17, and Gree would start to fight Jiren, and due to Gree still having much power left, he would eliminate a weakened Jiren pretty easily. So now, who gets the wish? Even though Frieza's still on the ring, it wouldn't matter as they would still make the same wish to bring back all the universes. So Universe 7 would head back home. Life would pretty much go normal, as the Broly movie would go the same as well with the Moro arc. I could see some of Moro's goons going to the planet of the Tartanians. Gree would easily handle them. The Granola arc would also go the same, but once Goku and Vegeta head back to Beerus' planet to continue their training, some time would pass and Gree would visit Beerus' planet. He would apologize to Beerus for coming not invited. Beerus wouldn't mind too much and would ask him why he was there though. Gree would say how he wanted a rematch against Beerus. Beerus nearly is shocked to hear this and asks him why. Gree would explain on how ever since Beerus went on a rampage and killed his people and his leader, he wanted revenge. So he trained every day and noticed the more he is pushed, the more he gets stronger. A little note that he did lie to Goku about him not being motivated to train. The truth is that he was motivated to train, but he didn't want to train at Beerus' planet. So that's really why he declined Goku. Anyways, Beerus stays silent, but he smiles. He's about to agree to the battle, but he gets interrupted by Goku and Vegeta. They tell Gree that they know that Beerus is his main target, but if they want to get to him, they will have to get through them first. Gree would be a bit annoyed, but is curious on their improvement ever since the Tournament of Power. Gree would accept this and saying that they can be a good warm-up to him. Vegeta would take heavy offense to this and he would power up to blue. Vegeta would try to throw a punch at Gree, but he easily gets blown back by Gree. Vegeta would quickly notice that Gree isn't holding back anymore, so he would go blue evolution but ultimately the same result would happen. Gree is shocked that Vegeta was able to transform into the power of the gods. Vegeta would attack Gree and Gree would start to get pushed back. He would start to attack Vegeta, but Vegeta is easily able to tank the attacks. He tells Gree the more damage he takes, the stronger he gets. He punches Gree straight in the gut as Gree would cough up spit. The two would begin to clash and everyone who was watching would enjoy the fight and wonder who would come on top. Eventually, Gree would decide to transform. Vegeta smiles as he's been waiting for this. The battle would keep on going and Gree is surprised on how durable Vegeta is. But he starts to notice that Vegeta is starting to dodge more of his attacks. This is when he starts to notice that Vegeta isn't invincible as he's starting to hit his limit. Vegeta's vision would start to get blurry and he knows that he took too much damage. So he decides to put everything in his final attack and put his hands together as he charged up his final flash. Gree would surround himself in a barrier around himself and would charge at Vegeta. Vegeta would scream out, "Final Blast!" The blast would immediately consume Gree as the dust settles. Gree is nowhere to be seen. Vegeta laughs thinking that he won the fight, but Gree would teleport right in front of him and would send multiple blows at him. He would immediately drop him on the ground and at point blank range would send a blast at him. This would knock out Vegeta. Gree would lie there in respect for the prince's power and pride. Whis would heal them both up and Goku would walk up. And he decides to not hold back and would go into Mastered Ultra Instinct. The two would start to fight and Gree would notice that Goku is completely the opposite of Vegeta. Instead of taking the attacks, Goku completely dodges or weaves his attacks. So Gree would decide to play defensively and he would send multiple ki blasts at Goku. Goku would of course easily dodge all of these blasts, but the blasts would start to come back. Goku keeps dodging all the blasts, but he notices that Gree is trying to tire him out. So as he dodges the blast, he looks around for Gree. As Goku looks around, he sees a dark energy ball coming straight at him. Sadly for Goku, it's too late to get out the way. He holds down the energy ball and Gree would teleport behind Goku, scratching him. Goku's confused by this, and Gree would apologize for this dirty play as he goes inside of Goku. Pause. Gree would be able to take control of Goku's body, so in Goku's body, he gets consumed in the energy ball. As the energy ball dissipates, Goku is in his base form extremely exhausted. Gree would leave Goku's body, apologizing to him, and Whis would heal them, and Gree is ready to fight Beerus. But he would look at Broly and asks him if he wants to fight. Goku would intervene and would say how Broly can't control his power, so he highly advises him not to fight Broly. Gree just shrugs and he would stare down the god of destruction. Beerus is excited and would tell Gree to come at him. Gree would say how he's been holding back all this time. He has been hiding a power that he has saved for the god of destruction himself. Gree screams as Gree's overwhelming aura will start to blow back everyone. Whis will surround a barrier, helping them out. Gree will start to morph as his aura starts to dissipate. He tells Beerus that this is the power of the true Tartanian. Beerus would not hold back at all and would go 100% of his power. The two would hold a fighting stance as they charge at each other, but that's where I'm gonna end this story. I hope you guys did enjoy this and I had fun making this. Now that I am back, I have very exciting stuff coming out, so look out for that. Now with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.